Critical Blast, where pop culture gets blasted.
And good evening, everybody. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at criticalblast.com, where pop culture gets blasted, as the lady has said. And we are delving once more into the world of crowdfunded comics. Tonight, we are joined by Scott Wilson, who has a comic coming up on Kickstarter here called The Flock. So, Scott, help us get the flock out of here and understand your comic.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. It was very short notice, so I'm glad to be here.
Hey, it's not like I take time to prepare for these things, you know. Didn't start talking.
But yeah, so my comic is called The Flock, and it's just a really funny, goofy book, and I can't wait to tell you about it. So.
I hope you've got some images, because we've got the Kickstarter page here, but there's like one picture on it, and it's a pretty long page. So
I will show you I was going to do this later, but I'll do it right now. I'll show you the preview page of the actual Kickstarter page. So my Kickstarter page is 98% done. So I can show you that. I'll just share my screen.
All right. Hey, XP, Nicholas, thank you for coming into the show tonight. We're starting a little later than we usually do, but that's fine. It's not like we don't have FCC guidelines telling us when to come on or off or not. Not yet.
So I'm sharing screen now, so you should be able to.
Yeah, and there it is.
Okay, so there is a video. I don't know if you'll be able to view it on stream, because I don't know if it's a preview page. I might be able to, but
you could play
anyway.
You shared sound when you shared the page.
Oh, so you'll hear it if you want to do a quick. Well, it's only like a minute long. If you want,
we can give it a shot.
Really quick.
If you click the little button that said share sound whenever you check the option to share the page, then that will work.
We'll see if it works. Do you hear it at all?
Nope, I hear us. But that's okay. We're getting a look at the artwork here.
Yeah, it's really just the music that's in it is not really it's more like focusing on artwork. So, but yeah, I'll go into details.
So this is where somebody comes in and says, line art. Look at that line art. That's what happens usually in the chat.
Yeah.
Although that is some really good line art.
Yeah, I love my artist. He does a phenomenal job. But right now, it's getting colored. So this is some of the preview pages of it being colored. So I'm trying to keep it kind of older style with the coloring, kind of more flats. Give it a more vintage look to it. But yeah, let's see.
So you're shooting for a 50s kind of style here.
Yeah, so now that that's over, I can close that. But yeah, so the book itself, the series takes place in the 50s. So it's 1957 is when the first issue starts. So I picked that era because it's just, I liked the technology back then. Everything wasn't like how it was today, and it feels like a lot of indie books today focus on like the nostalgia of the 90s. So I went back even further to have more like the nostalgia from the golden age and like the silver age of comics.
Yeah,
and I just like that feel of storytelling, because it's just like a goofy it made it feel more like a comic, like not so much relating stories to like today, like how comics are like everything has to be related somehow to like today's world, but like back then they just told stories and was just like, it's a comic, let's just do what we can do.
Yeah.
You know, the next monster comes in and the hero stops them, you know. So that's the type of feel I like from my book.
It gives us sort of that old future
yeah
feel, where you got guys with jetpacks and or rocket backpacks.
Yeah, he's got a jetpack. It's pretty cool. So I'll scroll down a little bit so you guys can see the kind of the intro while I'm talking. So it takes place in the 50s. The main character, my hero, is called the Goose Man, and the reason it's called Gooseman is because it takes place in Canada. And the reason I picked Canada primarily is because it's a series that's happening with my brother and my one of my best friends. They had a comic book that's still going on right now. It's called Canada Bear, and it takes place in the 90s. And I created the Flock, which takes place in the same city, but like basically like a prequel to that Canada Bear series. I have some pictures of that. I'll show you that as well. But my book is all about fun, kind of feel a little bit like old cartoons from the 90s. So it's like telling a story, like I said earlier. My main character, his real name is Huck Bennett, and he's the Goose Man, and he's got a best friend named Jackie Oakes. And Jackie Oakes is a cool guy because he's like a lumberjack type of dude, and he's a distant relative of Paul Bunyan. So he's got like a goofy backstory there.
Hence the big blue ox.
Exactly, and that's why there is that big blue ox, which gets introduced in issue 3. So, and another thing I should mention, my campaign it's 3 books. You're not just getting 1 book in the campaign; you're getting 3. So,
now I've got to stop and ask, why 3 books instead of 1 trade paperback?
Well, I was looking to do trade paperbacks. I just found, to be honest, I didn't really make, from a business perspective, I didn't really make enough money the last time we did that with Canada Bear. And I was just I'm trying something different this time around and doing like separate books, just because some people, they might buy book 1 and they don't want to buy book 2 and 3. And then even if they were to buy a trade paperback, I just don't think I have the, depending on the goals, like I might have that as like a stretch goal if we make it a certain amount, but on my financial side, I don't think I can afford doing trade paperbacks based on who I go through with my printing.
It's more expensive to print a trade paperback than it is to print the book in 3 floppy formats. I've not compared, so I don't know.
Well, for me at least it is. From who I've go printing in. So like, I personally go through the last 2 print runs I did, because I did locally. I did like a black and white version because I was still working on getting it colored, and I went through Mix'em, so I could do a trade paperback. It's just the cost for it when I do color is going to be, I would have to charge way too much for me to even make even. Okay. And I don't want to me, if it's a floppy, it's a little bit cheaper, and it's able to, I can get it to my backers quicker in some way. That's kind of the route that I'm going.
Well, that's the thing to do. Focus on getting it cheap to your backers, quality,
yeah.
But cheap.
Because I don't want to charge, and plus when it comes to shipping is a big thing when it comes to a lot of people who do Kickstarters don't like put in an account. Like shipping costs will just destroy your campaign, even if you make your goal. I know some people that were able to just barely get by, but it was just because the shipping costs, to me, if I'm charging, say, $5 or $6, I'm using that entire $6, and I'm making it so that it's like, if it's like insured or, whatever I got to do, make sure the customer gets the product. But whatever I charge, I'm going to using that right away for all the materials, making sure it's perfect condition, because I don't want any mix-ups.
I'm all over the shipping costs right now, because that's what we're doing. We're a fulfillment center for people who crowdfund their books overseas in Canada, overseas, and then I say Canada, like there's a great big ocean between Michigan and Ontario. But yeah, it's, I always urge people to, kind of hedge your shipping a little bit. If you know that the book's going to weigh this much and it's going to cost this much to ship, add 50 cents, add $1. Because no one's really going to care about that. It's when you charge $20 for shipping and handling and it comes in an envelope. That's when people get really upset.
See, I'll even mention right here, all my books are shipped in Gemini mailers. I already, invested into that having for my shipping. And then for like the bigger packaging, I'll probably do Gemini mailer also with like a bubble wrap. So it's like thick packaging per se. And also since I work at a retail job, I have additional cardboard that I'll be cutting up and using for added protection to the product as well, because I want to be able to make sure it's in great condition, especially if people want like the variant covers that I have. And
and the people who sell the Gemini mailers, they also sell the comic book pads, which are just square. I've got them over here. I can show them on the screen.
There you go. Yeah.
But also I urge people to round up on their shipping, because what happens is you're like, I'm selling a comic. That's a floppy. It weighs 2.5 ounces. You have 3 of them that weigh 7.5 ounces. Okay, so you're already at half a pound, right there. Somewhere along the way, maybe not with Kickstarter, but if it were an Indiegogo, you're like, hey, we just hit a stretch goal, so we're going to throw in some trading cards. We hit another stretch goal. Here's just some stickers. We hit our 3rd stretch goal. We're putting in a solid gold framed print. And now all of a sudden it's 30 pounds and you're still charging $10 for the shipping and you're out money.
See, my campaign doesn't start till February 24th. So I'm really thinking about some extras and like perks and stuff for like with stretch goals, but I don't want to go too much, because it's like, to me, a sticker is cool and all, but I have to really think about it, because a lot of those gimmicks and maybe a trading card will probably be the best route, but sometimes it's like these are just so many different things to print, and because I want, to me on my end, I want my book into customer's hand as quickly as possible. And for me, going into the campaign, what we're working on right now is getting it colored. It's already been lettered. It's already been inked. The first 3 issues are completely done besides coloring. So like, I want the customers to get that as quickly as possible. So if anything holds me back from like a sticker factory or whatever.
Oh, sure.
I want it
someplace that's best. I'll tell you, I've not worked with trading cards, so I don't know what they take. Stickers, you can't go wrong with stickermule.com. They're a very fast turnaround, and they have I'm not getting paid by them to do this, but they have a very good array of products, as far as the die cut stickers, where you can send them like a shaped guy and they'll cut around it, and you get the nice shape. They also do these coasters, so if you've got a Canadian character, what's more Canadian than something to put your beer on, eh?
Exactly.
So,
yeah, that's a pretty good idea. I'm just trying to financially try to make sure budgeting. I'm going very strategic, because I don't want to, under budget.
Oh yeah, you should.
So
that's what I say. Round up.
I'm probably gonna round up. I'm most likely Canada, because I'm shipping out of the U.S. So like even Canada, it's ridiculous. I know one other creator who anything he shipped from Canada to the U.S. was like $10, $12, sometimes even $15, just to get it to the U.S.
Send him our way. That's exactly what we're doing, Scott. We're taking drop shipments from all these creators in Canada and the UK, and then we mail them out at U.S. rates. So we drop their price down from 20 to 10 on the shipping.
Nice. That's nice. That's
and
really nice.
We do it with Gemini mailer. We label it. We send an email to the person getting the book, so they've got a tracking number, the whole 9 yards. And that's why we round up, because I don't want anybody telling me that, hey, yeah, it's a 2.5 ounce book, and we get it and it's like 7.5 ounces, because kick it over, that really changes the rate.
Yeah, I agree. That's pretty cool. I'll probably be reaching you about that if I have to ship internationally.
Well, it only works coming in to the US.
Okay.
We still got to pay the same price you do going out.
Okay.
But we do have some domestic in the U.S. people using us, because and I told them, I started us up for the UK and Australia and all that. They're like, yeah, but I don't want to spend the time doing it, so I know I'm spending more going through a fulfillment service than if I send it myself. But it's worth my fee per unit that I'm charging them to get it out of their house and not worry about it.
most
and
definitely.
get back to making comics.
Oh yeah, and it's so helpful. It's because that is probably the most stressful part of the whole campaign.
Okay, so we've got we got Cleveland, Akron, Pittsburgh folk here in the chat. Harrowenberg
Sweet.
is here.
Hell yeah.
Always here. He carries the Critical Blast branded wrench. Wants to know what's your favorite Cleveland, Akron comic shop.
Whew. So I was able to sell the Flock into 5 stores in the Cleveland area. You find if I list them off really quick? Is that okay?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay, because they're really great places. And I know they all have an eBay store. So if you guys ever reach out to them, whatever. The first one was it's called Comic Heaven. It's in Willoughby. It's really close to where I live, so I was able to go there and walk in. I usually go in there before COVID. I was in there regularly. Now I'm going in there like once a month and getting some books, but I haven't in a long time. I feel bad, but great shop, big, a lot of open space. Here's things: a lot of these shops that didn't have a lot of open space, like the shop like size, were not doing very well in the area. And just because you can only let like 3 or 4 people in at a time, and a lot of those shops didn't have that community and what kept them alive. But you got Comic Heaven in Willoughby. Comics and Friends at Great Lakes Mall, which is in Menor, Ohio. That's another shop that's pretty cool. They focus on everything new, and they have a really huge anime collection, or not anime, manga collection. It's like half the store. It's like huge, more than I've seen in any store I've been in recently. So, and then Comics Argo over in Sheffield, Ohio, which is a pretty cool place. I love that short shop as well. They actually recently moved into a bigger location, which is perfect because lots of space and people can be more than 6 feet apart. And then my favorite shop that I've gotten the book into, just because it's a very big in the Cleveland area, is Carol and John's. It's a very big comic book store. It's been around for 30. I think they just had their 30th or 30. Yeah. I think a couple years ago they had their 30th anniversary, so it's a very popular shop in that Cleveland area. And then I got another one in the Menor. It's called Menor on the Lake, but it's still Menor, Ohio. And it's like they just changed their name. I think they're Galaxy Gaming or something, but it's like a card shop. So it's like a completely different. They don't do normally baseball cards, and they're starting to do Magic, and because the owner took over from his father, who and they're trying to turn it into more of like a hangout for guys like me and you that enjoy and have comics and just talk about fun stuff instead of baseball. Because he was funny when he told me the side story. When he took over the business, he had no clue about baseball. He knew everything about Magic, nothing about baseball. So
he doesn't know anything about baseball. He just doesn't know about the cards.
Yeah, the cards it's a whole different concept.
But it sounds like you got a bunch of good stores up there to work through, though.
Yeah, it was really cool when I first printed them. They were all it's all black and white, and it was my first run because I didn't do a Kickstarter. I started last June, was able to get issue 1 out in June, and then issue 2 out in I think it was the very end of August. I think it was maybe the first week of September. So it was like a quick turnaround, but it was because I was really working with the artists, and we started in January of last year. So it was like boom, 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 getting everything done. Once it was ready, I was like lettering it, and then getting it ready to go for print. So, but yeah.
So Ichthy in the chat is asking why use goose as the type of bird rather than any other animal or bird in Canada. And now I want to say why use gooseman, because it almost sounds it's Hispanic. He's the gooseman.
Well, I picked the Gooseman just because it just sounds cool to me.
Like the Batman, the Spider-Man, the Gooseman.
Exactly, and you don't really hear the Gooseman.
Yeah.
So
you
it's something different.
Or the gray goose. Or I'm the Canadian goose.
Yeah, I like the Gooseman just because it just fits fits the story that I'm writing. It's primarily.
As long as it's not his primary method of attacking the bad guys, is the goose.
No, it's not.
That would be weird.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good story, and I enjoy writing it just because it's goofy and it's an all ages book. So I'm trying to make it so. My main reason I wrote the book and did the series is so that someone like my nephew who's 10 was able to read it with me, and I'm able to read it with him, type of thing. Something you can read with your son, your daughter, whatever.
Those are the books we're missing.
Yeah,
I made the point many times in the 70s and 80s, like. Any book that was in the house, it was a comic book, laying on the table. My dad could pick it up, read it, enjoy it. I could pick it up, read it, enjoy it. Nobody had to worry about, what was in the book. It was entertaining to adults, and it was entertaining to kids.
Definitely. And like for instance, the first book, I do have it available for free online, black and white version, of course. The color version would be in print. But the book itself, Mikusta the Goose, I love it. Like the main story is this gang called the Purple Hood Gang, and they, their first like big crime that they've been doing is they've been stealing maple syrup from the maple syrup reserve for the city. So it's like super goofy right away. Like like what the heck are they stealing maple syrup for? Like who steals maple syrup?
Yeah, people will choke on their dry pancakes.
Well, it was funny when I came up with that story. I was thinking of you know what I did? I watched a documentary on I kid you not, there is an actual maple reserve mafia in Canada. Like there's literally one of the cities. Like it's just like perfect. I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. They're gonna steal from the mafia. Because why not?
Why not? It's what made the Blossom family rich in Riverdale.
Exactly.
They've got a maple syrup place, and of course they were using it to make hooch later on in some of the later episodes. I don't know if you watched the show or not. I have to watch it.
I have to watch it. I heard about it though.
Oh, it's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's a hot mess. What they've done to my Archie characters.
Yeah. So, I'll just go into like a little bit of what I have here. Like I said, it's all for all ages. So I'm probably gonna my goal though for the series, the Flock series is gonna have all the characters, and my main character is of course the Goose Man, and his actual name is Huck Bennett. I'm probably going to do like spin-offs, but like a short, 6-page, which I'm probably going to do for the one of the stretch goals, a 6-page story with one of the characters on their own, like a Jackie Oakes spin-off, or his nephew, which I haven't mentioned yet. So his nephew, Edward, he's called the Gosling, so it's like his Robin type character.
Yeah.
And he's a stubborn, kid who's 13, and he just wants to, catch the bad guys, and it kind of gets into like a situation with the Goose Man where like, calm down, we'll get them, he has to like calm down his nephew who just wants to bring justice right away. Just a interesting duo they have.
So he's sort of like the Damian Wayne Robin. He's like, they're bad guys, let's kill them.
Exactly. And he's growing up in the 50s, so he's like, he's fighting bullies, fighting all these guys, and he's standing up for himself. So because before he met knew about his uncle's persona, he was kind of like a wimpy kid, and then his uncle taught him how to fight and taught him how to be a kid, and which comes later in the series. So I give a little bit of a future storytelling there. But I wanted to show you.
Story's been done.
My story's been done.
Yes. The months-long Great Canadian Maple Syrup Heist of 2011 to 2012, and of course, it would have to be a slow heist because it's syrup, right?
That's the documentary I watched. Oh
boy, it's like we were stealing it out from under them because we built a pipe under it, but it just flowed so slowly. It took forever to get it out of there.
Yeah, good thing they're in barrels, right?
Exactly. Yeah, rolled in barrels. It's a lot faster.
Definitely. So did he say 18.7 million? I just saw that. Holy cow.
3,000 tons of maple syrup were stolen. It's 18.7 million Canadian dollars. So that's like $1.50.
It's like what, 10 million?
Yeah,
US dollars. Oh, that's good. I love it. So I have a link here. The first link here is to the Global Comics. I have it on for free on the website for the first issue. And then I also have I'll share them in your private chat so you can post them. But I also have it on my Gumroad store, which is just Comics by Scott. Very original, I know. Very, right to the point. My name is Scott, like comics. There you go.
And they're by me. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. This is the first cover, which is I'm pretty sure I could show the whole thing. Yeah, I don't know if I could. Maybe I'll zoom out just a little bit so you can see this. But yeah, this is the first cover. This was the first one he had in print. So I'm pretty excited. The person who did the cover art is Matthew Critchfield. He has done some art around, but I don't think he's been doing art at the moment. I think he's a teacher in Pittsburgh now. But at the time, him and my colorist worked very well together, and he did this design. We added this because just as a joke.
I like those kind of designs because if you think about it, if you were in the 1950s and you got superpowers, screw the 1950s, even today, like I guess today you'd go to whatever cosplay store is selling, printed nylon tights and stuff. But back in the 50s, what are you going to do to go buy a superhero suit? You're like, you go to your local theatrical thing. I need a full body spandex suit and. No, you're going to go like your pennies and your wards, and you're going to sew something up yourself out of a blousy shirt and some jeans and
That's exactly what the Gosling is. His suit is just like what he had in his room.
Yeah,
his cape is his pillowcase that he cut up. So
that's very golden age.
Yeah, and also I had him have a slingshot, so that's like very popular back then. Everyone had a slingshot in the 50s.
Nice.
Or so they say.
So this is
my grandpa said.
And they shot birds with them, and then they felt guilty about it. So this is 3 issues. I'm gonna guess, your standard 22-page floppy each one.
Each one, yeah. So the issue 2 and 3, or issue 2 is 24, and then issue 3 is 25.
But it can't be 25.
Well,
that's not
I haven't.
Possible.
It's 25.
You have to actually take half a sheet of paper then, Scott, and staple it into the middle of the book if you do that.
I know. Maybe I'll put an ad or something.
Oh, that's a whole new barrel of wax now. You said the A word. Does that affect your shipping?
What?
That affects your shipping. Right now, we're already getting people having their books opened up by the post office and saying comic books don't qualify for media mail, and having to get retold the lesson on their own regulations. But once you have an ad, they're right.
Yeah. Well, I would probably be an ad to another comic, I guess, like that, like not even like like a comic for Canada Bear, like the series it's also in or something, because it's I'm published through SB Comics. We're both under the same wing, so it wouldn't be an ad for.
Heronberg says you can have a double fold out page, which makes it 25. Yeah, it'd be 25 sheets of paper. But no, it's like here I don't have a comic book here. I cannot believe that. Here's like the page 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
You have to have it in units of 4. But it's you can still have a 22-page story and then fill the rest of it with pinups or backup material. I'm already thinking, once this is done, you've got to start work on the next 3-parter. And he had his own Clone Saga. Because it'd be the Goose Man and the bad guy,
Yeah.
the Gander, and
Well,
and you know the title of it already. What's good for the goose?
what's with the goose? Yeah,
What's
that would
good
be a
for
good
the
one.
goose? Just yeah. It's a goofy idea. I'm just throwing it out
It's what what's his name? Tyler from Draw and Tuck. It's a silly goose time. That's what it is.
there. Yes. Now, Herrenberg says you're allowed to put ads in your comic for other comics. Yeah, house ads. If you liked this book, go buy our other book. You
That's
can't
exactly what I was thinking.
You can't say, hey, X-ray specs and Charles Atlas course. That's
Yeah. Go send in box tops or something weird or something.
yeah. You can't have somebody pay you for an ad and then go out media mail.
No, it'll probably be in-house. So, and that's what we did for the actual books that I got printed. That's
a lot of inside baseball nobody cares about unless they're making a book and they're getting ready to ship it out.
Yeah. So this is the first cover. This is the second cover.
I love airships.
I love it. Yeah, it's a cool airship. The first book leads into a cliffhanger, which leads into the second arc going into this one. But yeah, I love the blimp shows up out of nowhere and just like the first story of the first book just comes in and just terrorizes the town. So he's coming in to take it out, which is pretty cool. I love this cover a lot. This cover feels so nostalgia for me, like an older generation of comics, and that's what I'm going for, and I loved it so much. And then this is the third book cover.
When the babe goes wild.
Exactly. So this guy is called villain is called the Mountain Man, and he the shorter version is he hates technology, and that's all I'm gonna say, because he just hates technology and he just causes a lot of ruckus in the city, so Goose has to find a way to stop him. So, but yeah, this is one of the scenes that takes place in the book where they're trying to stop the bull.
Is he looking for a china shop? Because...
Funny. No, he's not.
Okay, because that would be goofy. The Mountain Man just says, "We'll hide in this china shop."
Well, I'll just give you an idea. It's issue 3 is called Stampede Through Downtown. So that's a little bit of an idea of what that could be. Okay.
Yeah, Harold Berge does look like the Rocketeer. A very cool character. Dave Stevens.
Yeah, Rocketeer I liked a lot. I like that movie, and I like the when they did it with the Spirit. Spirit's another one of my favorite comics. So yeah, Rocketeer's a little bit of my inspiration for sure.
And of course, Rocketeer brought us back the awareness of Betty Page.
Yeah. So this is a pinup that was my interior artist did kind of like a same version of the original cover, but he did it in his art style. So I turned it into a pinup to have it available as I'm gonna have it like a print poster for that would go with the comic for some of the perks. Just because I like having the my interior artist does a very fantastic job, and I want him to have more of a shot at the covers. When I did the first cover, it was the first book I ever did. It was the first time I worked with him. He wasn't available to do the cover, so I was able to reach out to someone else. But I want him to do the covers because I want the backers to know exactly what they're getting when they open the book, type of feel. Like I want it to be the same.
I do find it considerate when the hench people all color coordinate their gang clothes. So
I know. Well, they're called the Purple Hood Gang. So.
Oh. Well, then it makes sense. But none of them are wearing hoods. But still, they are hoods. They're hoods.
Exactly. And what's even funnier is that they all have masks, and it's like, wow, that's just kind of convenient of what it is today.
Yeah.
It was like I didn't even think of that, but then only one of them did. So.
Oh, but so how much are you looking for shipping out of out the window right now, not even thinking about shipping, but how much are you looking at the printing and the making of the book? What's a backing rate on this one for the basic package, books 1 through 3?
So basic package, I have it. The Gooseman package, it's $25. You get issues 1, 2, and 3, poster and plus whatever stretch goals I decide to do.
That's easy money. $25, 3 issues, 3 copies, yeah.
And I will also have a special for the first day of the campaign. It'll be $20. So it's like early bird type of deal. So like first day, if you come into the page and you back it, it's $20 plus shipping. Shipping, so, I'm most likely in the U.S. Probably going to be around $5, depending on how much the package weighs. But I'll see. I want to make sure. I'm going to with some books that are exactly the same size, and seeing how much it would cost at the post office.
Floppy weighs 22-page floppy weighs 2.5 ounces. 3 of them 7.5 ounces. That's half a pound. Consider you're going to put bags and boards on each one, maybe some stickers. You should be still under a pound, including the weight of the Gemini mailer and the label tape, which would make your rate for postage $2.80 media mail. Your materials should cost you about 96 cents, so I would charge $3.76 at the very minimum for shipping. Round that up for your time, your gas, and everything else.
So maybe like $4 or something like that.
Yeah, I would still put $6 shipping. Unless you're going to go priority. Are you going media or priority?
I'm trying to do whatever's the better route for
media
to get to the customer. I know it's cheap. It's pretty cheap.
But it's slower, and it's going to get thrown into a box where, all the other media goes. So there is the risk, Gemini mailer or no, that it's like, hey, here's 600 comics from this guy. Put them in the pound in the thing here. And here's a set of encyclopedias that go right in there with it.
I will have to see, because I shipping is what I've been focusing on recently, just because I'm reaching out to other creators that had their campaign last year in November and in October that I kind of was like, hey, you fulfilled your book. What did your cost end up being? Just so I can make sure my budget's correct. Because right now I'm pretty well on my budget with having the book at $25 plus the shipping of say it's even if I have it at $5, $30. I'm pretty even.
So I'm looking at our Critical Blast logistics rates here to give you numbers. So if you wanted to go priority, you could still do the Gemini mailer, package it all up securely, just like you would if you were sending it media in a Gemini mailer, and that mailer will fit into a flat rate envelope. So you're looking at with shipping and handling, $8.36. I would round that up. It's still $10. So for $10, you could conceivably, if you can fit it all into a Gemini mailer, you could conceivably send it out for $10 shipping.
Okay. I didn't know that they would fit in the priority mail. That's pretty cool. Did not know that.
Well, the thing about priority mail is that it comes with not only the tracking, or if you want to send a tracking and everything, but it also comes with $50 of insurance.
Okay. That's nice.
Whereas media mail does not get insured.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
I think I'm probably going to go the route of whatever is, best for the customer, and I want the customer to get the product, and I don't want it to sit there and wait. Exactly.
Herrenberg's asking if your Purple Hood gang have their names on the back like they did in Batman 66 Black Scorpion.
No, they don't. That was I was thinking of something similar to that, but I didn't want it to be a copycat. That would be too much of a copycat to me. I was, I try not to do that. I try to do my
sometimes there's copy and sometimes there's homage. It's a fine line.
It is a very fine line. So I just want to show this one really quick. This is the first variant cover. This one's by Mike Belcher on Twitter. I think his tagline is Mike Belcher 1. This was really cool variant because I reached out to him. I asked him for his rate, and then he is so quick because he sent this to me like not even I think it was 11 hours later. I'm like, holy cow. Talking about quick turnaround. I never had that. Was quick. Especially when it comes to like coloring it and everything. It was like, holy cow, that was fast. But what's funny is he's got a story called The Man in the Mask, and it's kind of the same, kind of like similar to The Spirit. It's got like the same, type of feel to it. And also his artwork feels that same type of era that my characters takes place. So he was able to draw the characters in that style. And I really like his style a lot. It's really, really cool.
That is very cool. And again, the costume designs just work for me on this. So I like that kind of a realistic look.
Well, thanks.
Believable and realistic look for what was available. So you're not launching till, you said, February 25th.
24th, actually.
24th. Okay. And first day, folks are going to get a discount on the 3 packages. That is a very good reason to follow the link to the Kickstarter pre-launch page below in the description. So you can click on the Notify Me on Launch big green button that Kickstarter has there. And that way you'll know day one, go in and save $5 overall on the entire pack.
Yeah. And this one is actually, he might be in the stream and comment, or in the comments, but this is by Ichthus. He did, this is cover C. So he was able to do it variant cover as well. This is his first variant cover gig, so I was really happy and honored to have him on do the cover for the book. I was on his stream a couple times and we talked back and forth, and I was like, you got to do me cover. You got to do it. I was just so blown away. It looks so great.
You know what? I hope you pull in $100,000 in this, so that you can get so that you can approach a stretch goal. I would love. I want to see it right now. Right now, I want to see the 1950s, the Gooseman and Red Rooster, drawn by Mitch Breitweiser and colored by Betty. Now, you may have to pick it up in Walmart,
That's a good burn.
I kid because I love. It's a good book. It's a really good book. I love Mitch and Betty. But they're in the same time period. They're both birds, and it would make a really cool pin-up. So for a print or something.
That would be pretty cool. I would love to do like a kind of like crossover print. That would be really cool. With a lot of I actually have my last variant that I have right now is a crossover between 2 other creators. So I love doing that stuff because cross merchandising is very key with indie. Like you got to be able to cross merchandise with each other, help each other network and reach out to people. So it's very important.
Arctic's great at that. You get Rags and Common America and Niobe and all the other characters working together, saving the world. They're all just showing up in different people's books. They're like, hey, can I draw your character in my book? Yeah, okay.
Exactly. It's great cross merchandising. Like our cover is, it's Nicholas Raven, or his Nicholas Mueller's, but his book Raven, Demon Hunter, and Niobe, and Gooseman, all on the same cover. So it's like a cool homage to an older cover that came out years prior. But it's really cool action pose and everything. So really excited to see it.
2 out of 3 of those books have been nominated for Best Book of 2020 on the criticalblast.com Best of 2020 awards. So that's still open. People want to go there and choose between those 2 or some of the other books in the list.
Yeah, I created a great relationship with those 2 guys just because over the past couple months I've been watching their streams and I was able to be on their streams and just talk about their books and Twitter and the little short stories. I did a Indiegogo campaign, didn't succeed last year, but I'm continuing on and doing Kickstarter and wanting to network more because going into my campaign last time, I didn't really network very much. I didn't reach out to streams like I am now, so I'm working so much better. Huge mistake. I kind of like put the stick in the ground before I should have.
Yep. I've got to get that video clip from Pretty Woman and make that part of my radio drops in here, because that huge mistake one is. I'll get a lot of play out of that one.
Definitely. So this is his. I was so happy I was able to be there when he was able to color it. He did a phenomenal job. I loved it. I loved everything that came out from it. And plus, this is his first, like I said, his first gig for like Kickstarter and stuff. So I'm really hoping this gets him to be able to get more work, because he does a phenomenal job and he's starting up. So I love it. So
it's very cool. I love the chin. He's got that thick chin kind of thing.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Right when I saw it, I was like, wow, it's got the dominant chin there, and also he's in that view. He's so much more muscular and just like buff, man. Gooseman looks buff. But I love it.
And of course, there's Gosling crouched in the back.
And then this next cover is by Joel Souza. So every cover I have their what cover it is. Either it's cover C, D, E, and then the link to their Twitter, so people can reach out to them if they wanted to do commissions from them.
Okay, now all these alternate covers, are these alternate issue 1 covers, or are you going to have alternates for 2 and 3?
So these are all alternates of issue 1.
Okay.
Which would be separate, of course.
So I'm going to guess that there's going to be a pack where you can get everything, all the alternate covers plus issue 2 and 3.
Yes. So right now the ultimate package, of course I have a digital version of issues 1 through 3, PDF document. But as right now I have the Jackie Oakes package set up where it's $100 and you get issues 1 and 2, all the variants, which is 4, 1 through 3, PDF, 2 posters, and whatever stretch goal extras. So that's like the big package. It's $100. You get everything that I'm offering. I am offering the variants each individually separate from 2 and 3, but I'm also going to be offering 2 and 3 separate as well, as if you wanted to do do the variant plus, and then do a 2 and 3 package. So you don't have to buy all. So you don't have to buy all of them, twice.
Yeah, a way to do it a la carte. That makes sense. Herrenberg reminds me that Red Rooster was set in the 30s. This is true, but Red Rooster is a legacy character, so there'd be a new Red Rooster in the 50s. He would have passed on that one. But there would be one.
Definitely. Yeah, there would definitely be one. Depending on how the story went, because I haven't read the story, even though it's at Walmart.
Well, nobody's read all the story. I mean, issue 2 is at Walmart now, but I haven't been able to find it because, it's Walmart. Walmart's not known for, being the best comic book distributor in the world.
Yeah, definitely. I just don't. Well, to me, I don't think of Walmart for comic books. I think of Walmart for ramen and mac and cheese. Well, I don't know. I only went to Walmart when I was in college.
You used to be able to buy comics at Walmart all the time, and what happened was that when the direct market came along, it was split. It wasn't like we went straight to the direct market with comics. It was like, here's the direct market without a UPC symbol on the covers. Here's the magazine newsstand with a UPC symbol on the cover.
Okay.
But they started writing more towards the direct market. So they dropped the comics code. And now, you're buying more mature stories at your direct marketplace. Mom's picking up a comic for little Billy that, she's opening it up and finding more than she expected to in a wholesome, funny book. She'll complain to the, if you complain to the direct guy, he's like, yeah, they're being written towards, a more mature audience. Let me guide you to something different. Walmart's just like, oh, we didn't know that was there. We won't sell them anymore.
Yeah.
And that's why they're not there anymore. That's what killed the newsstand. Wasn't so much that the direct market existed, but that the newsstand wouldn't carry the content.
Gotcha. That's see, yeah, like for me, I've grown up, I've never thought of going to Walmart. Comic book shops was a big thing, but growing up, just because when I was younger, if I go shopping with my parents, we always go to Great Lakes Mall, which is the only mall that's even open nowadays in my area. And there's a comic book shop there. I go in. For the last 10 years, I've been going there, so it's where I go.
Yeah.
If I need a comic. And I was just, to me, when I first heard that they got into Walmart, I was like, Walmart does comics? I was so confused. It's like, I know they do books and like really expensive hardcover books that just are new releases, but comics? What? And magazines.
They've been doing the graphic novels. They've been doing the DC 100-page super spectaculars for a while now, but and that was exclusive. You couldn't get those in the comic book stores. They finally relinquished that, I think.
Yeah, that's cool. That'd be really cool to see more indie books in the Walmart or in general, but that's just gonna probably take a while.
I'll be happy to see them anywhere. Yeah, we do get our Archie digests at Walmart too, as well as the supermarket. My son's got about 1,000 of them out here outside the door on a wire rack.
Yeah, I work in a retail store, not like Walmart, more like like a grocery store, but we do have a magazine section, and it's just no one buys anything. It's such a pitiful spot, but like no one buys any magazine. Like there's magazines that like we come in, we scan it, bring it in, put it on the shelf, pick it up, scan it, and send it out. It's like to be honest, it's like that section's. I don't even know how they make money. No, magazines are expensive
too. Hard. My wife will pick one up every once in a while at the checkout. She especially if it's like some commemorative. Hey, we're going to look back at Elvis, or we're going to look back at something else, and she'll pick it up. She's like, oh, this looks like an interesting one. This was Christmas recipes or something. $15.99 for a magazine. It's like, nope.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's like going in like who was it? Well, I was in like one of those party stores getting a Christmas card or like a birthday card. I'm like going through. I'm like, oh my god, this card is perfect. I turned it around. It's like $8.99. I'm like, geez, I'll just put that back. I'll just get a piece of paper and here you go. Happy birthday.
Yeah, I'm just gonna write it down. Look, personalized thoughts. Yeah, but I do like the digest comics, and I think that Marvel tried to do that for a little bit. And didn't really stick with it. DC was doing a great job with it in the early 80s when they had those Best of DC Blue Ribbon digests. I really wish that they'd try to go back to that and reprint some of the old classic stuff that way. But
yeah, I'm a lot of, I don't know, it's been like to me at least, a lot of people during COVID I personally been trying to read a lot more Silver Age and whatever I can get my hands on comics, like or even not even just Silver Age. Like I got a bunch of detective comics. Like I went into the dollar bins and I got I think like 100 issues, and they're all like from issue I think 500 to 600 something, but like they're all in crappy condition because you can read them, so like they're not really good condition, and they're all they were all like $1.50. So I'm just catching up on older books, and it was just if that feeling of those books then just I don't feel that many these today that have that same feeling of opening up, wanting to learn more. Like sometimes the stories end before you flip the next page. You're like, I don't really want to read this.
Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes most of the time, the story ended in the book. There wasn't, you didn't have to read all 100 issues of that run to finally figure out where the story was going.
Exactly, and that's how. That's funny you mentioned that, because that's how like some of the issues, like for issue 1 and 2, those are basically issue 1 and 2. If I wanted to do like a bigger edition, they go together. It's part 1 and part 2. But issue 3 is its own story. It's start and finish, done. And issue 4 is the same way. Cool thing about issue 4, we just got finished inking, so issue 4 is completely inked. So that's great news. I got that news last Saturday. So
okay, well
really
now
excited
issue
about
4
that.
is not even part of this package. So now I've got to ask, how close to the finish line is book 1 through 3 in terms of the inking, the coloring, the lettering, the ready to go to press business part of it?
So issue 1 through 3 has been lettered. Issue 1 through 3 has been inked, sketched. We've got issue 1 has been colors have been flattened, and then we're moving into the coloring stage. I'm going to be sending issues 2 and 3 to get flattened as well. So I want to say overall we're probably at least 70%, because we got majority of the books are already done. They're like, lettered, inked, already. The main thing I'm focusing on right now is getting coloring completed, because I have all the covers are done, all the credits pages are all done. Everything's all ready to go. I think my big part is coloring, so I would say about 70%, maybe even 60%, just because coloring is a big factor there.
So by the time this campaign finishes in late March, it's going to basically close and go.
Yes. So that's my main goal. My main goal is to have issues 2 and 3 when the campaign launches to be. Issue 1 will most definitely be done, but at least going halfway into issue 2 colored, and then by the end of the campaign, issue 3 will be completed. So then I can, right when the campaign completes, I can just ship them out and get them printed and get them ready to go, because my goal is April to have everything sent out. So that's my goal.
and then with it being sent out, you can launch again in May for issue 4, or 4, 5, 6, or whatever it is you're at that point, and you've got a bunch of people who are happy, books in hand, know that you deliver, and spread the word about it on Twitter. Do their unboxing videos, what have you. So you get more people jumping in.
Yeah, I'm. That's my goal, and I'm looking at. I have my whole year planned out, so I want to do quite a lot this year with even just with comics and working with other people and networking more and more and doing more streams. Not being afraid to be on streams is a big thing. I think I've gotten over being nervous. Even going to the comic book stores was a big experience for me, because trying to sell something, like I sell stuff at my job every day at a store, but I don't own the product. This is
you're
something
not
I actually own.
No. I mean,
so I had to be like a salesman. So
you're trying to say, I'm selling my thing. I'm selling me. I did this.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of the shops were really opening, but some of them I reached out to, they said no, and I think it was mainly because they don't do well with indie books, and it's understandable, mainly because it's not what they want their clientele likes, so it's not what they're gonna pick up. So
sure. So right before we wrap up here, because we're closing in on an hour.
Oh wow, that was quick.
Yeah, it goes by pretty fast. We keep talking about the Gooseman and Gosling. The book is called The Flock. Which means there's, I'm thinking, like, I feel like we've been talking about Superman, and the book is called The Justice League.
Yeah.
So are there other heroes here? You talked about the Jackie Oakes, the Paul Bunyan descendant. But are there other heroes in this book that we should be looking for?
Yes, other heroes and other villains and other things that come into the series as it continues on. For me, I have a end goal of what I want the series to end at, but I want to do more than just your average 4 or 5 books. I want to keep it going until the story continues on. I want to bring new characters in, new. I have a female character that's coming into issue 5 and issue 6. Trying to bring in more heroes into the story, and some new villains that become heroes, or heroes become villains. It's just a whole can of worms that I'm opening with this whole Flock series.
But is there a group with the proper noun appellation of the Flock anywhere in the book, or is that just sort of the overarching title?
That's the overarching title, but it will become the group name with more characters being introduced. Right now,
it's much better than the Gaggle.
Right now, it's just the Gooseman and the Gosling, so they're a flock because it's 2 bird guys.
Okay, got it. The ferocious flock, like the dynamic duo.
Exactly.
All right. Well, folks, if you want to get a head start on this, we urge you to click the Kickstarter pre-launch link in the description below. That will allow you to get a notification from Kickstarter on February the 24th when Scott launches this thing. You want to get in on day one so you can get that discount for the bulk package of issues 1 through 3, because it goes up $5 after that, and it's only going to run for 30 days.
30 days, yes.
Yes. This is Kickstarter, not Indiegogo. It's not going to get extended for another 30 days. You're in, you're out, and then the books will probably ship in April. So these are mostly done, which is always good to know when you're putting your money towards a crowdfunded project. Or you're not going to be waiting 2 years. You know who I'm talking to get this book back. Yeah,
well, of course I'm going to. Definitely, and of course, even when it comes to having the books out quickly as possible, I'm still going to look at the quality. If the quality isn't there, I'm going to post updates, but I'm going to make sure it's out within. My goal is within a month of the campaign ending. That's my max goal. I don't want anything more.
Problem. Now, barring World War III and the Civil War or something, all our businesses should stay up and running.
Exactly.
All right. Well, Scott, we appreciate you coming on the program tonight. Thank you for bringing the flock over to us and showing to our audience. Wish you the best of success with this. And, we should get back together here we'll get back together in March before your campaign closes out. Try to do a little push over the top there if it needs it.
Hell yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate having me on. This was fun. I really enjoyed this.
Be sure to get back to us, man. We'll do it. All right.
I will.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody in the chat. We don't have a show without you. Come back tomorrow. We have no idea who's going to be here. We're still scrambling to fill slots this week because I've been busy. We do have Friday night has been booked by Kursova Magazine. They're going to be crowdfunding their next issue. And we're going to talk about that because they are our first domestic shipping partner. So we're going to be talking a lot of behind-the-scenes publication stuff, but also talking about the book that they're publishing. It'll also be available in the hardcover, and more about that this Friday. This Saturday, finally back since our Christmas holiday extravaganza, the LCS guys will be back in town. So been gone for a month, got a lot to catch up on with them. We will see you on both of those nights and probably in between. Good night, everybody.